What's up guys, my name is Killer Cloud, and in this video we're going to be learning how to clean the Smoant Rabox. So the best way to do this is when I zoom up. If you guys can't already tell, this thing is prone, it's like a magnet to fingerprints. Whether you guys have fingerprints on your mod or you have a little bit of e-liquid inside, you want to clean that out, this is probably the best way to do it. So the exterior screws that I'm pointing to right now are the screws that you want to remove first when trying to clean this mod. The back side where your mini USB is are the same screws, the external on the far corners of the box. Those are the screws you want to remove. So before we get started, what you're gonna need is a star bit. Most screwdrivers, multi-set screwdrivers, come with this bit already, so you don't have to worry about trying to find the exact bit somewhere. Most of these multi-set screw bits, they have the star bit that you need. I'm not quite sure about the exact size, but just so you guys can see, this is about the size that you need. Also, what you guys are going to need is Windex. You can also use rubbing alcohol, that works great. Something that dries very quickly. You don't want to keep any liquid inside this mod. You want to have something that dries quick. So Windex or rubbing alcohol works great. So first step, like I said before, take the exterior screws, all 4 of them, out. Once you're done taking all 4 screws out, this would be the time to clean your screen. As you guys can see, that there's some condensation inside, some fingerprints, a bunch of gunky stuff. You want to be able to get that clean. That'd be the time to take the Windex. And I don't want to put too much Windex on. Too much is bad, so just 1 squirt should be good enough. That's enough to apply to the back and the front of this screen. And the best thing to use would be like a microfiber towel. Paper towel might scratch this, so something soft that doesn't leave any white residual. So I'd probably use a microfiber towel or like a ShamWow towel, something like that. And as you guys can see, it's back to how it's supposed to be looking, nice and clean, without the fingerprints, without the condensation. So what's next now? So you want to be able to get to the back side. So the next step is, if you guys can see on the motherboard, you have 4 star bit screws that are the same size as everything else. All these screws are the same size bit, so you guys don't have to worry about switching off between bits. Everything's the same size. So you have these 4 corners of the motherboard. You want to take those screws out. Once you're done taking these 4 screws out, you notice that the motherboard is now loose. You want to flip the box over and take out the 4 corner screws, not the internal screws, the exterior. Once you get that done, then you'll see what happens next. Now we have all the screws removed. and now the frame comes right off. Now you're able to clean it. You can also take this chance to clean the motherboard a little bit more. Whatever you want to do, this would be your chance. Everything's nice and exposed, but now it's loose. So now I would clean the other frame with a little smidge of Windex. A little bit more. I just need to miss the spot. A little bit better. So once you're done with this, now you want to put the entire thing back together. So you want to reverse the steps that you just did. So start with the back panel like we did before. Line up that mini USB cutout on the screen with your mini USB port, and proceed to putting your 4 screws back into the holes that they came in. And these screws, the motherboard screws and the chassis screws, are a little bit different. So you don't want to get them mixed up at all. You want to keep these in separate piles so then you can keep everything nice and how it's supposed to be. The external screws are a lot longer than the motherboard screws, so that's the reason why I'm saying to keep them in their own piles. Now we're just going to proceed to keeping that screen cutout of the mini USB on it as best as possible, and then taking all 4 screws, putting them back on how they're supposed to be, and the motherboard will slowly adjust back to its resting location. Now that all 4 have been screwed in properly, we're going to flip the mod over, and we're going to line up the motherboard, the entire internals, with the holes so they're nice and clean, nice and symmetrical on all sides. We're going to take the motherboard screws and screw it back in. All 4 corners, make sure that the holes are lining up, and start screwing them in. Like I said before, guys, if you guys want to clean the motherboard for any juice that's been inside, or any condensation building up, this is a great time to use some rubbing alcohol or some Windex to clean the motherboard, clean the internals, and then put everything back together. Now that we have all 4 set in place, we're simply going to take our last screen and put it back to where it needs to be. And that's basically it, guys. This box isn't hard to clean. It's just you have to know which screws to take off, which not to take off. For this entire setup, the internal screws that you guys can see that I never took off on both sides, those basically hold the frame to the clips that you see, those little screw clips. You don't want to take those off at all because it is a pain in the butt to try to put those back on in the sleeves that they go to. Just take out the exterior screws, wipe it like you would, and then put the screws back, the exterior on all 4 sides. It's not hard to clean this box, it's just a little time consuming. Normal mods that I use a little bit of brass tone, like, you know, brass, copper mods, etc., and that's usually pretty quick. This is a little longer because of the screws, but then you get a nice clean box. So if you guys have anything that's glass, anything that's plastic, you guys know that they're very prone to attracting fingerprints, but what you guys need to do is just pretty easy steps on how to get the box nice and clean, back to how it was when you got it. But that's it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. As I can see, I just put my thumb on there and boom, another fingerprint. So that's it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys again next time. Peace out and have a great night or day. Later.